everybody, and God bless. So this topic has been on my spirit for a very long time, and I'm hoping this video won't be too long. So I'm just going to explain why this is important for you guys to go and study Proverbs chapter 2, and also look into my mom's video of the strange woman demon. Remember, any spirit can operate in both male and female, okay? So I'm just going to give you guys a bit of a little story that happened to me. But I had 3 different married men on my Facebook in a different way. One was blowing up my messenger. The other 2 were blowing up like my notifications, but I was just like, I mean, that's fine because like I do post things of God. But one of them went ahead and messaged me, and this greatly upset me. Very greatly upset me, because I was just like, when I was in the world, I was very loyal, and these are supposed to be Christian men. What are you messaging me for? Like, no. And I understand that a lot of people want to message me because, you know I have good advice. I've had a dream that's my gift, that I have this advice, and I understand like people want to message me and get to know things of God, and I understand that, but that's a quick 2-second conversation. And on top of that, you can make an easy group chat with your wife involved. That'd be great, you know, a chaperone, like what they used to do back in the 1800s. Can we do that? Can we go back to that? And that greatly like just upset me, because I'm just like, this is so disrespectful to your wife. When you're trying to, like I said, I understand if you're hitting me up to like ask questions about God, that's different. But what are you trying to get to know me for? What are you thanking me for adding you as a friend for? I don't care about all that. You don't need to do that. You are a married man. I am a single woman. Stop. You don't need to hit me up. You don't need to be going out your way to find ways to contact me. Because here's the thing. When you're going through something, like let's say you're a married man or a married woman, and when I say married, let me explain this. I mean married in the spiritual realm, right? So even if you're divorced on this planet, in the spiritual realm, you are still married as long as your spouse is alive, right? So as a married person, you should not be messaging someone that is single when, like, how do I explain this? You should not be messaging someone that is single in a way that you wouldn't do it if your husband was right there, right next to you. If your husband was literally, or husband or wife was right there hovering over your phone, do you honestly think that it's okay? Messaging this person all night, on the phone with them for hours and hours of a day. Would you honestly do that if your husband was right there? Or wife? No, you would not. And when this was originally on my spirit, I was like, I feel led to wait a bit, because I feel like there are scriptures to back up why I'm feeling this way. Okay, now I had a Bible study this Monday, and sure enough, the person who does the Bible study was talking about Proverbs 2. And in Proverbs 2 is about the strange woman, okay? And my mom, she did a very great video on that, so hopefully I can find it and put it down in the description box. And here's the reason why this is so important. Because my own testimony, I dealt with the Jezebel spirit for years, since I was a little girl, and I don't think I was fully delivered from it until way after I moved back in with my mom. And I was still, still struggling with it and stuff like that. And I didn't know. But I started to be wise. I started to recognize, okay, Kiana, you should not be talking to this guy this way. You should not be petty like this. I wanted to, because I was still dealing with the Jezebel spirit, but I fought it. I resisted it because I was wise enough to recognize the characteristics, okay? So you can be a Christian man or woman and be dealing with a strange woman spirit and not know it. So you need to ask yourself these questions. If you are married, would you be doing those things if your spouse was right there? And if the answer is no, you better stop. And then from my journey of being, on the ministry, I've always heard the excuse of, well, I need prayer, or I'm lonely, okay, then you need to seek God and ask God to send you somebody that's not going to be a little scandalous, okay? And God can do that, because a lot of times I see these situations and the person has like 5 million friends, but they're choosing to reach out mostly to the person that Satan can easily come in and be like, hey, you know, you're not necessarily married because, you know, you're not living with your husband, so it's fine to think this way and things like that. And it could also be the same thing with single people. Now, my own personal testimony when it comes to that, I have a friend that is also single, and I started talking to this friend a lot, like a lot, and I literally started having not good dreams and not godly feelings, not godly thoughts, and it was really bad. I could have ignored that and just said, oh, you know, it's probably just something with me, and, you know, I just need to pray about it, and, you know, I'm just dealing with being lonely, and continued to talk to that friend. But I didn't. I slowed down. I was like, something's not right here. I need to seek God. And part of that is not talking to you as long as I've been doing that. Okay? And sure enough, I sought God, and I have not gotten confirmation to continue talking to that friend that way. So I'm not doing that. Like, I'll message them here and there. I'll minister to this person, or they'll minister to me here and there. But I make sure that I'm not doing something. If I were a married woman, I'm not talking to the single man the way that I wouldn't do it if I was married, if that makes sense, right? Because God's not going to send you somebody that you have to compromise and have to go out your way to connect with this person. Like, that's just not going to happen. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, I have another friend that I was talking to for a very long time, every single day, and things like that. And I never got those thoughts or feelings or dreams. Like, everything was normal, but I still sought God, and I asked God, like, is this okay? And sure enough, I received dream after dream, vision after vision, saying, yes, it is okay. It is okay. I got confirmation. I sought God, because I was like, this is something I wouldn't be doing if I was a married woman, right? So I hope that makes sense. So basically what I'm saying is, don't just blindly be like, oh, you know, I'm a Christian, I wouldn't do that, or I know better, I'm married, I know better. Don't do that, because the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And he can put those terrible thoughts in your mind if you're sitting there just, you know, not being wise and not noticing these things. And he can put those terrible thoughts in your mind that could end up ruining your friendship. Because what if God did send this person in your life to be just a friend, and you're too busy ignoring the signs that you need to slow down, that you need to back up a bit, that you're doing too much, you're flirting too much, or anything like that. You're ignoring those signs, and that can come up in your friendship and make it worse. And then you be left off. And then for the people who are on the other side of this, those people, like, let's say if you're single and you're talking to somebody that's married, the Bible says that we should not make other people stumble. Okay? So me as a single person, I took that initiative. I was bold about it. I said, I'm not gonna message these people back, these 3 married men. I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm not gonna reach out to them and nothing like that, because I don't want the devil putting thoughts in their mind about me. You know, I'm not gonna be the reason why they're fighting lustful thoughts. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna openly, like, force myself in their life for that. And, like, granted, like, I don't know what the devil's doing, but at least I can be like, their blood is not on my hands. I didn't do anything, you know? So I really pray this makes sense. Just seek God and ask him how to address your friendships, how to address connections, and make sure you're being led by God. And be very, very careful, especially as a woman. Be very careful, because as women, our hearts can sometimes be a little fragile. Okay? Now, I have a friend that I had no idea I was falling for this friend. Okay? I had no idea. I literally was like, oh, we're just friends. Like, I'm not falling for them at all. And then something had happened, and I realized, oh my goodness, I was falling for this friend. And I hurried up and was like, no, I'm not falling for this friend. I hurried up and let it go. But my point is, that brings me to talk about this again, is the fact that, like I said, be careful. Don't tell yourself, oh, I'm not going to fall for this person, or, oh, I'm not going to do anything. And you have no idea if you are until all of a sudden something happens and you're like, hold on, I am falling for this person. And I really want you guys to think about it this way too, as a Christian, because I've heard people say, well, they're a Christian or they're married, they should know better. I want you to think about David. David was a man after God's own heart. And as soon as he looked at Bathsheba, as soon as he opened up that door of lust, he became a completely different person. So it doesn't matter if you're a Christian and you know better and all this stuff. We all fight, we all have temptations, and anybody can easily fall, okay? So do not openly put yourself in those situations. I pray that makes sense. So like I said, please go and study Proverbs 2 and watch my mom's strange woman video. Ask yourself, are you showing any signs, any characteristics of the strange woman, male or female? And then also for the other people who, you know, ask anybody, you know, ask yourself first, are you showing these signs? And then also ask yourself, is somebody in your life showing these signs? Coming up with excuses why they got to talk to you all day long. Like, you know, okay, like I said, I had a Jezebel spirit. I had no idea. So you could be dealing with somebody who has a strange woman spirit and don't know. And they could be creating snares and traps and have no idea about it. So please be wise as serpents. Please pray and be led by God. Okay? And if you get confirmation that it's okay to talk to whoever you're talking to, as long as you are, then that's fine. But don't just, oh, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Like, that's always a bad sign anyways. So yeah, so God bless you all. Have a nice one.